Hello and welcome to the Comics Pals. We are live. I'm back. Sean's back. Kale's back.
What's up, hot dogs?
And I've
Tyler's
never left, motherfuckers.
Since
Got
when
that
is
got
go
that
ahead.
comics pal stink all over the place.
Yeah.
Trust me. I got some stink on me, that's for sure.
Hey, I
That
was in New Orleans, but Tyler's the one with swamp ass. How did that happen?
Sean, I told you that in confidence.
Oh, sorry, dude.
I
God,
just assumed.
it's a
Look at
medical
him.
condition. I suffer from clinical swamp ass.
I forgot to take my pills, okay?
I could see that being a thing.
I got them here. I got my swamp ass pills here. We're good.
Oh my god. What's up, Catherine? Yeah, say hello as you guys join up. Definitely want to hear from you all. I missed you guys. Missed you guys. It's been a
Sean,
week.
Sean, I missed you too. Mostly because it feels good not having to worry about the script entirely.
Hey, yeah, exactly, dude. Like
My timing ain't great, so
splitting the duties, you do the background hosting of the stream. I host the show, Kale talk shit. That's kind of the deal here.
Listen,
I don't
I
know.
gotta tell you.
I think we need to take some of the heat off Kale. That sounds like a lot of work.
Talking
Listen,
shit, that's what we do
when
every
I'm
week.
when I'm gone, the shit talking just it careens like.
That's true. It's almost like we're pals.
Mm.
What's up, Kefis? Welcome, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the welcome. We have a big show today.
Really
We're
big
gonna be
shoe.
talking about yeah. And we'll make it work. Don't worry. We're not gonna make you guys sit here for 3 hours. But we're gonna be talking about She-Hulk, a little bit of She-Hulk, not too much. So if you haven't watched it, don't worry, we won't spoil you. But we
Thank you.
have to talk about the Green Lady. There's no way we don't. With them steppers, man, come on. You knew it. You knew we had to.
It wasn't me
Uh,
this time, guys. For the record, let the record show that was not me that mentioned that first.
okay, but it's She-Hulk. How could we not? Someone had to.
I mean, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, Giancarlo Esposito is going to be maybe joining the MCU. We've got the new Fantastic Four creative team. So many comic book announcements. Solicits came out, so lots of that stuff. And in our main topic, we're going to be talking about a Marvel versus DC movie. If The Rock has his way, which in DC land, The Rock has been having his way lately. We're going to talk all about that. Um, so before we get into all that, I do want to mention how you can support the show, where you can find us, all that good stuff. There is a link in the description to our link tree, which includes all of our links. But I do want to specifically shout out patreon.com/the comics pals, where for as little as $3 a month, you can support the show and get our newsletter and other cool stuff like that. Palling Around, which we just dropped a new one. Marco and Tyler had to jump into the fray as the gruesome twosome
Yeah,
put
we
out
did.
an episode.
Gruesome is right.
Yeah, talking about performance anxiety. I would say that was probably the that was title B.
We
It's
talking ED or
hey, I'm gonna let the people have to listen to Pound Around to see what I mean about that.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to put Marco on blast when
That's
he's
fair.
not here.
That's
It's
fair.
Silv, what's up?
Hey,
Thanks for backing me up on that, Kel. Appreciate it.
And you can also get your name, your superhero nickname, shouted out right here on the show. So, with that being said, I do want to say thank you for making this possible to Thunderstruck Rebecca Alejandro, the Night Stalker Harris Dajinski, Brian Demolisher Del Pozo, Random Rocio, Kefis the Incorruptible, the Great Destroyer Hyper Viper 89, Momentum Mike Elliott, Starcross Catherine Stars, Indestructible Indy Aaron, and the Ultimate Fighter Snake of Talons. You are all beautiful, beautiful people. Thank you. Now, I was gone, so I missed all the Ezra talk.
I'm gonna have to get caught up myself. Yeah.
Yeah, the saga of Ezra Miller. Tyler, what happened?
Well, boy, oh boy. Ezra, they be doing some shit. Is that? Do you want more info? Was that not enough?
Yeah.
A little more. 'Cause it's
Um,
gonna lead into something later.
yeah, let me. I'm trying to think of where in the saga we last left off. Oh, there was the supposed DC or Warner Discovery having 3 contingency plans for
Yes.
Ezra. That's where we were after I'm thinking of Batman and like the what was it, the Judas Tower or whatever. What was the Morrison JLA run where
Tower
he
of
has
Babel.
Tower. Battle.
yeah, that one, the other biblical term, where he has like a contingency plan for all the Justice League members. Like, this is Warner Discovery opening up their little suitcase and finding their fail-safes. Which it looks like we know which option they've started with, which we'll talk about. So
Yeah. I'm on vacation, and I'm thinking,
wait, were you okay? Like, they didn't come over there and slap you, right? You didn't go to any kind of karaoke bars while you were down there.
well, one thing you can bet about me is that I will not be at a karaoke bar. So no, they did not slap me.
Man, you didn't drink enough then.
There's no amount of alcohol you could put in my body. The only way that I could end up in a karaoke bar drunk is if I was drunk at some other location and you took my ossified body to the karaoke bar and sat me down like Weekend at Bernie's with a hat and some shades on and forced me to watch the karaoke.
You don't
Because
have a
even in that
go-to?
state- No go-to. I go home. That's my go-to.
Same.
Yeah, karaoke. But I'm in New Orleans, right? Supposed to be having the time of my life. I found myself thinking about Ezra Miller. These are the things that I think about. I'm thinking, gosh, I wonder what happened now. I'm thinking about DC.
Sounds like you needed a longer vacation.
Right. I can't get this stuff off my mind. I'm thinking, man, Marco he probably wishes he was here. This is the swamp, right? But too bad I didn't see Swamp Thing this time. I tried to avoid those areas.
Am I crazy, or did I see something about Ezra having a cult in like Iceland? Or something?
Oh, that happened too. Yeah.
There's a cult. There's indeed a cult.
Okay.
And they also
right.
just got a mustache.
All right, well that's a change.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever an individual gets a mustache, that's how you know things are.
Well, that's how you know they've been replaced by their evil twin.
Didn't you have a mustache like a week ago?
I was off that week. What are you talking about? I don't remember that.
So I get off the plane. Mind you, my flight was delayed. So before I talk about getting off the plane, my flight was delayed to get back by 2 hours, which sucks, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. On the plane, this is a going and coming back. I watched the Batman. Once with headphones in, and the second time with no headphones.
Huh.
Yeah. And you want to know the funny thing about watching the Batman on a plane if the flight is less than 3 hours and change?
You
cannot finish the movie.
Yeah.
You can't finish it. You have to skip. You have to skip ahead because the movie's too long. That was weird. I never saw the ending. Great movie.
From what you saw.
Well, it could end terribly. Sean would never know. I actively avoided it, actually.
Oh yeah?
Watched a lot of Poirot.
What? What's that?
Death on the Nile.
It's French Columbo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Belgian.
Oh, well, yeah.
A lot of old British detective shows.
Okay, well that sounds about right.
I feel like on a plane you got to stick to like a comedy. It's just for like, especially if you're going like to like Florida or like New Orleans from New York. Like you got 2 hours like maximum. I feel of like actual watching time.
Oh, it must be nice.
Oh yeah, you had and that's why you went with the series.
I'm
That's
sitting-
the option you had.
I'm sitting here, ass falling off with 8-hour flights.
Kale's fucking around and finishing watching Lost all seasons.
Not the show I'd want to watch on a plane. I will
No.
say.
No.
Well, they couldn't show it because every
Legally?
episode, yeah. Well, they famously will cut out anything that has to do with a plane crash out of in-flight entertainment.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, did you
damn.
not know that?
I
That
was
whole Iron Man rescue that he does, that's really cool. In was it 3? They've clipped that whole thing out of the films.
I got the airplane cuts then. Did not know that was a thing.
Damn,
Yeah.
I was hoping to watch the 9/11 movie on my next flight.
Oh.
Kev has said, "Would it
Watch that Robert
mustache-
Pattinson. Robert Pattinson. There's like a nice little romance movie with Robert Pattinson. And at the very end, you see him and like the
Twilight?
main character. They have like they share like a kiss, and then it zooms out. This is like the last shot of the movie. It zooms out, and it's 9/11. And like they don't show it, but like that's how the movie ends.
Is that real?
Yeah, I gotta look into it. I'll look it
Oh
up
my
while
God.
we're talking about it.
We're Tyler and I at least are New Yorkers. Kale, I don't think you were here for that, right?
No.
Yeah. So we can we can.
It's called
make that
Remember Me. It's a 2010 film with
Oh my god.
with Robert Pattinson. Yeah,
That's horrific.
it's like a weird twist at the end.
Moving on from that, Kefis says, "Wouldn't Mustache Ezra be a good person via Mirror Universe rules?" I think that's fair to say.
That's true. Yeah, Star
that's
Trek
fair.
reference. Yeah.
It sounds like a bet. Oh, the drinking thing, Catherine.
Yeah.
Listen,
Karaoke bar.
yeah, it would take a lot. It would take a lot.
Also, what Marco and I talked about on Palin Around. If you want another hint to watch that, yeah.
Okay.
About getting Sean to a karaoke bar.
And then just karaoke in general. We didn't talk about Sean at all. Sorry.
Please, you certainly don't have to. My name's not on the marquee. Let's talk about someone whose name is on the marquee, though. Let's talk about She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. The first episode dropped, Thursday, I guess? Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
And I watched it last night. I was like, you know what? After all that travel, after all that drinking, after all that eating, I need to wind down with my girl, She-Hulk. And it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Even the shots that look like they were directed by Tarantino.
God, come on. How could you not?
I have not seen it yet. Tell me about it.
Okay. So it gets into what it is, I think, pretty quickly in the sense that you understand it's a comedy. You understand that she's a lawyer. They get the origin out of the way, which I don't think is a spoiler.
And they simplify it too, which makes
Yes.
sense in the MCU. Yeah.
It's different. I was rolling my eyes. I think I left my eyes in the back of my head as I was sleeping.
I mean,
in terms of how they changed it.
it's the same way we've seen that same exact thing happen though in the original the Incredible Hulk with the blood. So again, I'm not trying to be spoilery.
That's right.
but
Yeah, that's right.
When you say we've seen that same thing happen in the original Incredible
With
Hulk comic
Stearns.
book.
No, Samuel
Oh,
Stearns
oh,
in the movie.
Oh, yeah,
It was yeah.
That doesn't make it good. Come on, dude. Go rewatch that scene. Go rewatch that scene.
Oh,
and
I
tell
watched
me-
it. I've seen it a couple times. I mean, it's a little ham-fisted in terms of what it is, but it makes more sense than her original origin, which would take way too long to set up. Like,
I agree, it
she
would take a
almost gets assassinated. Oh, we have to have her in a medical bed. Have an IV, and the only person that can give her blood is her long lost cousin. Like, it's a little too convoluted for it. So like, they did they did well with what they were given.
Past that though, the show does get really fun.
Yep.
It's in the trailer, the Hulk and She-Hulk training together, and They get into a lot of the differences between the two, which I thought was really good. It was good
Yeah.
to establish that they're different characters right out the gate and how their power sets differ. I guess not their power sets, but the way that the transformation affects them. I thought that was great to get out of the way. And now, if sort of past the first episode, it feels like we have a blank slate to do whatever we want. Like,
Yeah.
and now the doors are open for wherever they want to go. I thought Tatiana Maslany did a good job.
She was phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the biggest question for the show was the CG. How's that going to work? And there's been so much conversation about like Marvel's treatment of their VFX people and their all that stuff. And I mean, look, it's not movie quality. I'm not here for that. I won't entertain a conversation about how it looks just as good as the movies because it doesn't. But it's doable. It's workable. It's all right.
It's not what you saw in the trailers. Like it's definitely upped.
It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Up the
better
ante.
than the at least better than the first trailer because that was
Interesting.
rough.
And I thought it was honestly kind of funny. A little more adult too, especially at the post credit scene, which there will be post credit scenes after every episode. So
We won't spoil that. You should see it for yourselves, but that was a great post-credit scene. And Tatiana Maslany's Jennifer Walters being very much a person who is on the sidelines of all this in the way that we are, in the way that she's a regular person who lives in the MCU, just like Miss Marvel, and the way that they look at these people is really fun and interesting, and they've used that to great effect. That's all I'll say. I'm very much looking forward to the rest of this show. 9 episodes total.
I gotta say, in terms of comic book TV shows, right now it's a fucking smorgasbord. Like I finished Sandman the other day, which was fantastic. I loved it. The new episode just dropped yesterday. Apparently, there's like a bonus 2-parter that dropped. Miss Marvel was great. The Boys is fantastic. Like we're kind of in a comic book TV renaissance, I would say.
I don't even know if it's a renaissance.
I guess it's an evolution.
Explosion, really. Yeah.
I think Marvel TV has to bring it a little more because She-Hulk is good right now. I think Miss Marvel was great, but before that, it was a little rough. So,
You talking about Emmy-nominated Moon Knight? 8-time Emmy nominated?
Listen, I hate to be the guy to step up for a Marvel product, but up to the last episode, I enjoyed Moon Knight.
yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
I couldn't even get that far.
The last episode kind of like really knocked it down for me though. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
this is what
yeah.
we went typical MCU. That makes sense.
Did anyone watching? Did anybody watch She-Hulk? Any thoughts? Without any major spoilers for the end, the after credit scene. I guess anybody enjoy that? Let us know as we move forward and get into a listener comment, a listener question.
Yeah, so we had a question. This is from Kefis in Discord. He said, "Who's your favorite villain who's not used as much as you'd like?" For me, I'm a big Vandal Savage fan. I'm hyped whenever he shows up because it could be anywhere. It's good. It's a good call out. Savage is good.
I like that point. I like that call out because Vandal Savage really is that character who could be anywhere. I remember we read Multiversity rather, not the video game.
Yeah.
And he was just there. It's like, okay, great, whatever. Not the character you expect to see in that type of book, but there he was. So I enjoy him. Kel, you got an answer for this?
Yeah, my immediate answer is Solomon Grundy. I feel like he was around quite a bit in the early 2000s and even some of the 90s, maybe the late 90s, but since things have been more modernized, I think it's he might be a little too I don't know, a little too unrealistic or something.
Hmm.
But I feel like I haven't seen him in a long time. And I really like Solomon Grundy. I think he's a lot of fun.
Gosh, when was the last time I saw Solomon Grundy? Wow.
I think the last time I saw him was maybe Justice League Unlimited.
I saw him like last week in DC Vampires, but
Oh,
that's like an
Oh.
alternate reality sort of thing. So
there you go.
they just came out with they just released a Solomon Grundy McFarlane Toys deluxe action figure based on the Arkham City design. So good looking toy, I gotta say.
What about you?
For me, I would have said Taskmaster previously, but I feel like he's kind of had his due in the past couple years.
And he got a movie, so fuck off with that.
Did he though? Did he?
But hey, listen.
I
You
know,
got the
I
name.
know. But for me, there's two that jump out. Fin Fang Foom. I'm a big Fin Fang Foom guy.
Oh, come on. Yeah, of course.
Whenever he shows up, I'm like, all right, something
Yeah.
goofier is gonna happen.
That's a buy for me too. If Fing Fang Foom's in it, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I'm buying that.
Big green
Very-
dragon with purple shorts. Yeah.
Very disappointed that we haven't gotten some Foom action in the MCU yet. I thought Shang-Chi was it.
Foom just seems like a good character to do like an opening scene with. You know what I mean? Like the team just takes down like nothing big. You know, it doesn't even have to be the big set scene. Like I'm thinking of like the Baron Strucker or Age of Ultron. You know, like when the Avengers attack that compound and stuff.
Yeah,
Where
that's exactly what I was picturing. Yeah.
nothing big brain. But the other one is the Hood. I'm a big fan of the Hood.
I knew you were gonna say the Hood. That's why I came up with a backup. That's who I wanted to say up front.
Yeah, the Hood, and we're getting them. And they are set photos of him.
You saw them, right?
Yeah, I did.
I was gonna put them in the notes last week, but I'm like, Marco's not gonna have anything to say about the Hood.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm so excited that the Hood is coming to the MCU.
Or in what?
Ironheart.
and Ironheart, strangely.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Weird.
I feel like that's more of like like introduce him there. Like I feel like the Hood could be a pretty big character.
The hard
there we go.
magic stuff.
Yeah.
That could be, and even if he is like the villain for Ironheart, that would be a cool setup for like science versus magic or whatever.
Well, they do have the it seems like they're building up the magical aspect or the like supernatural magic aspect of the MCU with like who am I thinking of? Blade and Black Knight and Ghost Rider, who's probably coming soon. So Hood would be a good antagonist for something like that as well. For
Kale, have
me-
you read? Have you read the Brian K. Vaughan, Kyle Hotz Hood Marvel Maxi series? It's really good.
I've only read the Bendis stuff.
No, that original Hood stuff is quality stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to sleep thinking about this question, and I obviously thought of the Hood, but I fell asleep thinking about Two-Face. And the fact that Two-Face, since I started reading comics, Two-Face has not been the primary villain of any, like, the actual Batman title, not Detective. I know that Two-Face has been used in Detective, but in Batman, Two-Face has never been the antagonist. Because Grant did not use Two-Face. Snyder didn't use Two-Face, not in a real way. Don't think Tom King used Two-Face. I didn't finish the whole run, but I got pretty close, and I don't think Two-Face popped up. Where's Two-Face? Two-Face is the man. Two-Face is my favorite. They got to use him.
Oh, you got a one bad day coming up soon, so
Yeah,
see how that turns out.
yeah, for sure. Thank you, Kefis, for the question. I want to turn our attention real quick to the chat. You guys are talking about the scene in She-Hulk where she discusses why she suspects anger and her control of anger as a woman and what she has to deal with why that kind of impacts the way that she is able to function as She-Hulk differently than Bruce. It's a great scene, and that's been one of the two big talking points coming out of the first episode.
I hate the discourse around this.
Yeah, Sylph says, annoyed
It's-
by the reaction to the scene going around on Twitter. I've not watched it yet, but where is she saying she has it worse than Bruce? It's not competition. She doesn't say that. She doesn't
No,
say
it's
it.
the people on the internet saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was handled really well. I thought it was an interesting angle on She-Hulk that I've never seen before. I've never seen it like stated before. So and it's weird for people to get mad about it, but it's to be expected. That's what that's what people do. They get mad about dumb shit.
It's the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
And I always like thought the difference would be like with Bruce being that he has like this kind of dissociative identity disorder like latent in him even before becoming the Hulk, and
Right.
that's once he gets the gamma radiation, it just amplifies what was already inside him. So
Manifest. Yeah.
yeah, you can kind of see that in She-Hulk because it's just manifesting who she is already as a person, somebody who could manage that much better.
Yeah, they're building that concept out in the comics. I think that Al Ewing was the first writer to like explicitly go there. In terms of
what book?
in Immortal Hulk.
I was thinking like She-Hulk. I'm like, when did he write She-Hulk? But no, yep.
But giving her a different angle on the Hulk, I think was smart. And I don't know, get over it. Like that's just a dumb thing to be mad about.
You're telling me that a whole bunch of Andrew Tate loving twats are getting mad at
Twice in a week.
female led. It's a hot button issue. I'm a high value male, so I do have to talk about this, Cal. So
We gotta get those search terms.
there we go. I'm not sure I want those, but
Well,
yeah.
I don't even know who Andrew Tate is.
It's better off. It's better off, Sean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right before, or rather, not right before, while I was on vacation, I sat down to catch. Well, first of all, my girlfriend and I we went to get Fuddruckers. I don't know if either one of you are familiar.
Oh, that's with the shit all over the walls.
Oh, yeah.
What?
They got the shit all over the walls.
What are you saying right now?
In the restaurants, they got like shit everywhere. Like not actual shit. Like
It's not a you dig situation.
Oh,
It's just-
okay.
no.
Okay. Does Tyler know that story? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't. I'm not trying to reference anything, so I don't think
Okay,
so.
we'll get to it one day.
They've been prowling around.
Yeah. So we went to Fuddruckers. It's the only location that I know of that's left is in a Harris casino, and we went there in New Orleans.
Fuddruckers in a casino in New Orleans.
Yeah, to take out Fuddruckers, and we rushed it back to the hotel to watch Better Call Saul, the finale. And of course, it was phenomenal. I won't go into that anymore, but Giancarlo Esposito's done with that. So now he's freed up to join the MCU. And what does he want to do in the MCU? A few different characters were tossed around. He did an appearance actually at a convention recently, and he talked about how he's spoken with Marvel Studios. He sat down with them, and he said the following. He said that he was actually in talks for Loki, for the TV show Loki. I have no idea what character he would have played there. The vibe that I got based on what he said is one of the old Lokis.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been Kang, because that was always Jonathan Majors, unless this is going even further back. But
Maybe it was for
but anyways.
alligator Loki.
Oh God, that's not right. That is not right. But this is what he said. He said, So there's been talk of Magneto. There's been talk of Doctor Freeze. That's what he said.
Doctor
Um,
Freeze.
There has been talk of
Love
who
it.
else are they talking about over there? Oh, Doom, and there's Professor X, and then the moderator said pick one. So he said, I'm going to go for something that's a little bit different. I'm going to put it out in the universe that it is Professor X. And then he said, I'd play that character with force, grace, and a calm, someone who controls the chaos, but who has the ability to uplift and inspire.
Or manipulate.
Or manipulate.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
right, I think like I'm always a stickler for characters
Yeah.
appearing on screen the way they are in the comics, which in this case means white, right? But Giancarlo Esposito is such a phenomenal actor. And when I think about a guy, right, in Hollywood who can do both, I can't think of anybody better.
Yeah.
Not other than Patrick Stewart, who already did it. Giancarlo Esposito, he can get that done. I'm down. I'm sold.
You're not one of those like basic fan castings where it's like, oh, I want bald Mark Strong as Professor X.
No.
Mark Strong.
Come on.
Mark Strong.
Sinestro? Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell?
Dr. Savannah.
thought
Let's
of-
throw one
I
more
just
to
thought-
him. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't do fan casting because I'm bad at it. I self-admittedly. But
The internet's bad at it too. Don't worry. Yeah.
oh, I mean, they wanted Brock Lesnar to play Venom in Spider-Man 3. Remember that?
name. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Weird time for fan casting. But no, like this is am I crazy here? Isn't this great?
Can I make an admission here?
Yeah.
Never seen Breaking Bad.
You're a weird person, Tyler.
I saw the first season, but I haven't seen any more than that.
Yeah,
That's not
I've seen majority of the first season, and then I saw the finale.
It's weird that Tyler wouldn't have seen it because Tyler's, he's got that wire blood in him, and
I got that dog in me.
you gotta watch Breaking.
I like telling people I don't watch it
Yeah,
more
you
than
strike
I
as- yeah.
more than I like. I think actually watching it, especially in
That's
so
how I
I was
feel.
I was in college for screenwriting when it was like at its peak. So people were like, "Yo, Breaking Bad's like the best thing." I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna see it.
Yep. That's how I feel about James Bond. The only James Bond film I've seen is this most recent one.
Just
Yeah,
watch
people
Mission
are
Impossible. They're
always like,
better.
What?
Actually, Kel, I'm with you. I've never seen a Daniel Craig James Bond movie.
I went to see one, and it was all right. But
What about Daniel Craig as Professor X?
what about no? How about let's talk about Giancarlo Esposito, okay?
I know him from The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He's
good
fine in
there.
that. Yeah, he's good there.
What I know of his character from Breaking Bad, which is very little, he seems like the kind of person who could bring it.
Sure. Or The Boys. He's great in The Boys too.
Oh, he's
Oh,
in the
yeah,
boys
that's
too.
right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
head of Vought.
I don't know. What that
Yeah.
is.
Cafe says that Giancarlo should be Doom. And I think when he said Dr. Freeze, he meant Dr. Doom. I think that's what happened there.
Unless he's been talking about a Victor Von Freeze role somewhere.
That's
Wouldn't be Marvel. But
What does he know? though? Like maybe he's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, they're all the same.
fair
Yeah.
enough.
It's all just a role for him. Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
I could see that though, especially you look at that picture that we have up there that Tyler put up of him. The way he's standing there, I could see him as Dr. Freeze there.
Freeze or Doom?
Freeze.
Okay.
I could
Sean knows
see
what
it.
he's
I could
talking
see him in
about.
the cold suit.
Yeah.
It just
Talking
it
about
couldn't
his
be
wife.
Sean Gordon Murphy's Freeze though, because that is
Different origin.
yeah, the origin's a little more specific.
Yeah. But he mentions Magneto also.
Now,
I don't know how to recast Magneto.
You
if we get Giancarlo as Xavier, let me put this out there. Bob Odenkirk as Magneto.
Stop it now.
Odenkirk
Oh
as
my
Morph.
God.
But give me Morph. Odenkirk Morph. There we go.
Yeah. Oh
That's funny.
yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. I don't know. Like, so I definitely can see Mr. Freeze. Doom, I feel like you gotta go with someone. He has the gravitas, right? Like he's got the presence for it. But I just feel like with that role, I want someone who can do it for the long haul. Not that it's necessarily a physical role, because you put the suit on and that's that. But
That'll be the same as
Sorry.
Darth Vader. Like,
right.
I was looking at Doctor Doom fan casting, and like the first one I see is Daniel Day-Lewis. There is no fucking way
God.
Daniel Day-Lewis comes out of retirement to do a Marvel movie.
Why not, dude?
No.
That's the role of a lifetime.
He's done all the roles of a lifetime already.
Oh, all right.
He does not need Marvel money.
Fair enough.
I'm seeing like Viggo Mortensen being like one of them. The guy from Game of
Doom?
Thrones as Doom, yeah.
No.
Cillian Murphy. No.
No, I don't think so. Oh, Catherine said that she should be Doom.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could see
that
that.
works, yeah.
You get a. I don't know about you guys, but I always hear Doom as having like a voice mod. Do you guys, in your minds, do you hear that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, not like a full-on Sentinel, but yeah, definitely enough
Yeah.
where like if the mask breaks off, you hear something different. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that could be a good twist. You think Doom is like some big, dude, and it's Catherine?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm into that.
Okay.
All right, but so to put the focus back on Giancarlo here, can you? I'm probably asking the wrong people, but can you accept the change in, race and all that? In this case, does it work for you?
I'm fine with it as long as it's not something integral to the character, like Black Panther. You know what I mean? Like that's built into
Yeah.
who it is.
Mark Wahlberg as T'Challa.
Say hi to Wakanda for me.
That's awful. Oh man.
But like then you look at something like Magneto, where like I think the race is integral to who he is. You know what I mean? It doesn't exist for Xavier.
There is a movement on the internet to change Magneto's origin, and I don't get it. I do not
It's
understand.
not by Holocaust deniers, is it? Like, is it the same people?
I don't know who it is, but they want to see him be a different kind of minority. I think it's rooted in the fact that the Holocaust was so long ago that Magneto would not be alive right now. But
So
I don't understand that argument because Magneto's a mutant, not a human, not a, he's a mutant.
Yeah,
So you
read
can
it off,
always say his mutant power gives him an extended life. I don't care. It's a throwaway, 2 seconds and we're done.
what is it? What are they going to slide
Yeah.
the time scale up? And he was just like a kid during Vietnam and watched his whole family get bombed or something.
That's fucking Xavier's or something.
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh,
Which which world tragedy do you want to put Magneto in, guys?
right? 9/11.
9/11.
I don't know
If Magneto were there, if Magneto were there, it wouldn't have happened.
it wouldn't have happened.
No.
There's
But
no
that's-
way those steel beams would have melted.
Yeah.
Dude, that's an interesting alternate story. Like, what if 9/11 didn't happen that way in
What
the
is gonna be
MCU
the-
because Magneto was there?
Marvel's What If.
This is sick. I don't know why we're
Which is
laughing about
it is kind of wild that like even in the Marvel comics 9/11 happened. Like, come on, guys,
Doom
what were you
cried.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah,
Doom cried.
yeah.
Couldn't
All
fix
right.
that, jeez.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. So
It's sad. I'm told it's sad. We were there. It was sad.
it traumatized me for my life. So,
Of
I
course
have
it
to
did.
laugh. Yeah. Let's shift gears. Speaking of Doctor Doom, he'll probably be appearing in this new announced comic book, Fantastic Four. Dan Slott is leaving the book, as we know. We were wondering what the creative team would be. It has now been announced, as pretty much everybody guessed. Ryan North will be the writer. We didn't know what the West part was. I don't know if you guys remember that teaser that they put out. It was a compass. One side of it or whatever was pointing north, and then also west. And we were like, what? What comic book artist with West in their name could this be? Is Kanye picking up the pen? It's Ivan Coelho.
So apparently the Ivan Coelho has another last name that begins with an S, and that's what the artist under South was.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Ivan Coelho Sabia or something like that. So,
All right. Well, the West was in reference to the fact that the Fantastic Four are going west.
I called that. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're going to be. So the way this is going to work is Ryan said that because Dan Slott's run was so huge and epic, they're going to shift gears and go small. And by small, I mean one and dones. So the first 3 issues are going to each be one and dones, where it's going to be like kind of like team ups. There was a book, Marvel 2-in-1.
Yep.
And that was just like, team up book. And then they recently, when Fantastic Four were banned, they had brought that back, but it was only Johnny and Thing. So it'd be like
Very good.
Johnny and Thing plus whoever, right?
Starsky was on that.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
It's a very good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. And so this one's gonna kind of be like that for the first few issues. So it's gonna start with Ben Grimm, the Thing, and Alicia Masters. They are now married post Dan Slott's run. We're gonna see Reed and Sue in issue 2, and then Human Torch in issue 3. Then after that, for issue 4, they'll all be together. So that's how it's gonna work, at least for the first 4 issues.
So will the other half of issue 3, will that be Spider-Man?
It didn't say, but that's a pretty good guess.
Well, I'm just basing that on, the Thing and Alicia Masters. They are married. Reed and Sue are married. Obviously, Johnny and Peter, they're a couple.
Okay,
That makes sense
I
to
like
me.
how you broke that down. right.
I like that in this. North mentions, I want to do these smaller self-contained stories in the vein of 60s Star Trek, where they go down to a planet, find a weird thing, fix the weird thing, and move on.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That I was like, oh, that is the kind of Fantastic Four I want. I mean, it's also the kind of Star Trek I want, and they only just now figured out that works.
Yeah.
What's so interesting about that too is the fact that as long as this still stands post Secret Wars, the Fantastic Four are the ones who built out the universe. So
Oh, yeah.
I love the idea that they're going and checking on these planets that they made, these galaxies that they made, and maybe fixing problems that exist within them.
Oh, they're going out into like space and shit.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be West Coast
Oh.
based, but they're gonna be going to like different planets and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be like the Captain America thing where he goes as Superman grounded.
Oh
He
no.
does a tour of
Oh, God.
America. Okay, fine. I guess we can see Reed Richards in Fargo. I hope he doesn't try and stretch, but that's fine.
Oh my God.
How do you
No,
think he'd fare in a
please.
wood chipper?
Probably
Reed?
fine. I bet he'd
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah, okay.
So this is cool. I'm into it. We'll almost certainly read it. I've never read anything by Ryan North. I don't think.
I don't know if you'll like it.
Be prepared for little stories that are told at the bottom of the page.
Oh, wait a second. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Did we not read some? No, we didn't read this.
No, that wasn't us.
Okay,
Yeah.
no.
Which is it's not your. I don't think that's your bag, Sean, at all. I enjoyed it.
His Jughead was very good. I liked his Jughead a lot. I like Ryan North a lot, but I can definitely see how he would be an acquired taste.
What was
Well-
the webcomic what Ryan North did?
It's that
The dinosaur one, right?
yeah, Tyrannosaurus something or other.
I'm into the concept, so hopefully, I can look past the zaniness.
I wonder if he'll sort of get rid of his gimmick for, this sort of quote unquote shot at the big time.
Yeah, or use it to accentuate, what is a good premise. Like have the comedy, but tell the story.
Ryan North did the Adventure Time comic when that first launched too, which was good.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I see.
Digging a deeper hole for Sean on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, when it was announced, he's done a lot since then.
Sure. Yeah.
Kefis says, "Oh man, Ryan North rules, but I'm not sure it's Sean's sense of humor." Doctor McNinja, what is
Oh
that?
yeah, I remember Dr. McNinja. Yeah, that was
I
good
remember
stuff.
that.
Out of this Fantastic Four announcement, we also learned that none other than Frank Miller is drawing a variant cover.
I forgot to put that in the thing in the in the
Oh,
slides.
yeah.
Damn, I thought that was a no-brainer. I thought you'd beat me to it if I didn't bring it up.
I purposely forgot about it.
Wow, holy shit!
I tweeted about it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I typed in Frank Miller thing on Google, and
Ooh,
it's
oh boy.
instead showing me the results for Frank Miller thong.
How's
I
that
never
look?
ever want to see that. Google.
Is that worse?
Yeah, Frank Miller thong.
Well, versus Frank Miller's thing.
Oh,
Brings new meaning to thing ring. Do your thing.
well, the reason why I would type something like that in is only because Frank Miller returned to Marvel to do a Thing variant cover.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about stompers earlier. Now we got to talk about these chompers.
Oh yeah. It's cool, I guess.
It's cool, I guess.
It's all right. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no connection to Frank Miller's art. So I'm sure this is for someone, but it's okay, I guess.
It's for Frank Miller's wallet. That's who it's for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough. And a way for Frank to promote his new publishing company. Frank Miller Presents.
Suppose.
Yeah. So
I'm throwing it sloppily on the screen just so we
okay.
we can look at it.
Better than nothing. There you go. Thank you, Tyler. Ever diligent.
Ugh.
He looks like my
Oh,
like
God,
my
it's worse.
he looks like my soul's pre pedicure.
Oh, that's God.
You gotta take the cheese grater to it, you know.
Ugh.
And also, like, why is he shedding? Is he shedding the coronavirus vaccine?
I can't call that.
It's worse than I than I remembered it being.
Wait, you hadn't seen this or you?
No, I had seen it,
Okay.
and I was going off of my memory because all I remember was the teeth. But looking at it now, it's just like, oh, it's a nightmare. It looks like Carrot Man.
Yeah.
He looks
alright.
like a carrot head, like now, just
Carrot
swollen
Head.
orange. Or
You mean
what was
Carrot
it?
Top?
Carrot Top. That's what I'm
Tyler,
thinking of.
what the hell?
What he
Carrot
does?
Head?
Swole. Hey, I heard. Never mind.
No, you gotta say it now.
Nope. I didn't have anything planned really. I had an idea planned, but no actual execution there. Just carrot and head. I'm sure you guys can figure that one out.
All right. Let's pivot away from that. There-
Let's not pivot away just yet.
Okay.
Catherine says he's cute. He's so ugly, nobody loves him, so I have to.
All right.
Come on.
Sylph mentions no rock dick, at least like the Superman cover. That's true.
Okay.
That's true. We don't see Frank Miller's thing.
I can't be the only one that's curious about that, right? Like,
What he's working with down there?
yeah.
He's working with one of those like. It's like I was gonna say he's got like a rock hard bad dragon going on down there, but if you guys don't know what that is, don't Google it.
I have a feeling everybody here knows what that is.
Okay, that's
but
fine. That's fine.
well, actually, that's not necessarily true. The millions and millions listening might not know. But what director would Marvel have to hire for us to get a scene in which we see the Thing?
The Thing, capital T.
It would be just
Lowercase.
like it would be just it would be just like Eternals, just two grates of stone just rubbing together.
Yeah, we've already seen it. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, is Alicia Masters okay? Like, what's happening?
I mean, she's used to working with like clay and statues, right? So like, maybe this is just another day in the shop for her. You know, I've watched Ghost. I know how the clay is formed.
Do you think she's like the Lionel Richie video for Hello? The flying
Yo, I
girl
used to get
mix?
Lionel
Yeah.
Richie and Muammar Gaddafi mixed up.
What?
I don't know why.
What?
They just looked similar to me. I don't know why.
Catherine said there's gotta be some way he gets his rocks off. Whatever's happening in that Frank Miller cover is how he gets his rocks off.
It's clobbering
Literally.
time, baby. Yeah.
Oh my god. Somebody needs
Hey,
to check on
there's
Alicia.
one thing we know about the Thing though.
What?
He's got a normal tongue.
All right.
Ugh.
Wait.
That's
Does
worse.
he have
'cause look
saliva?
at this-
Does he have saliva?
Look at
Oh.
this. Look at this Alex Ross cover you just put back up.
I know. You see that? You see that
Imagine-
little fleshy bad boy sticking in between them
Imagine-
rocks.
Imagine that down there.
Oh my god. All right. Listen, that's
It's like
That's
hot
awful.
stone therapy for your thighs.
all right.
Therapy.
Let's move on. It's,
I will say these Alex Ross covers are fantastic.
Of
I
course
mean
they
that
are.
pun intended, I guess. But
it's Alex Ross. What else do you expect? He's the best. Let's move on. This was previews week. They Marvel and DC both put out their previews for November. So everything we're talking about is throughout then, or November, December-ish, I guess. Including this next announcement, we're getting a new Invincible Iron Man #1. So Christopher Cantwell's run will end in November with 750, and it's going to be picked up. The ball's going to be picked up by Gerry Duggan and Juan Frigeri. I'm into that.
Duggan's a pretty solid hand, I feel. So I'm interested. I mean, it's gonna be a hard run to follow up on because this Cantwell stuff has been great. It's been it's like a real introspective look on who Tony Stark is as a person. Meanwhile, it's like Korvac in outer space, and like the side characters are Frogman and Ben Reilly and Gargoyle and Misty Knight. Like it's a weird book.
Damn, see, like,
But it's
I
good.
hear that, and I'm like, I don't care about that. But then when you tell me that it's an introspective look at Tony, I'm like, oh, I'm into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That cover is amazing, by the way. That one you have up there, that looks nice.
It's a good suit. It's a good looking suit.
Yeah.
It's like a not quite Extremis, but like it's like a more modern Extremis.
Mhm.
Which can we agree? Extremis is like the suit, right? Like when you think of Iron Man, what suit do you think of?
Extremis.
Yeah, I think of Extremis and then the Heroic Age black and gold one. I did like that one too.
Ah, no. Oh, my God. I can't stand that one.
Oh, I like that one.
I have a real affection for like, not like the very first one, but like the first one.
Like the first gold and red one,
Sure.
Yeah.
where you
The
could see like
arm
it's like
discs.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna
You
say
know-
Ultimate Iron Man. I'm like, oh boy.
No, I hate that one.
Iron Man is so cool. When I was a kid, I used to collect, toys like most 90s.
You used to. I still
Kids.
do that. Yeah.
Nothing wrong
Used
with
to.
that. I would if I had a place to put them. But I used to love collecting like as many Batmans as I could, as many Spider-Mans as I could, which makes a lot of sense for those two characters. I would say the third character that I liked collecting like duplicates of was Iron Man. And I would even say other toys that weren't actually Iron Man toys were Iron Mans because they had different costumes like Power Rangers. I would say, oh, this Power Ranger is going to be Iron Man because they look so cool.
That's not canon.
Well, you're right. Iron Man's the man is the point I'm trying to make. But Gerry Duggan on Iron Man, I'm cautiously optimistic because judging by the X-Men stuff, right? I don't feel like Gerry Duggan has really like lit me on fire quite yet. But I'm not sure if that's because of limitations due to the line that he's working with or his own, whether he jives or not with the X-Men. I don't know.
I just can't get into Gerry Duggan. I heard him once on a podcast talking about what he does and how the research he tries to do, and it was all really appealing to me. I liked the cut of his jib, but when it came out, I just can't get into him.
Will you read this?
Hell no.
Oh, all right. Well,
I gotta say, and this is no jab at Gerry Duggan, but I feel like he's like the fill-in guy for runs.
But that's not the role that he's been cast in at Marvel.
Oh, his X-Men stuff, his current X-Men stuff is good. I'll give him that. That I do enjoy. So, and I like his Deadpool stuff.
What if you like his Deadpool and you like his X-Men?
I just because I'm looking at Juan for Gary stuff because I'm trying to figure out where I saw that name, but I'm just trying to look at Gerry Duggan and like I'm thinking of him as like the other guy. Like there was like the Guardians of the Galaxy that was between runs with like Al Ewing on the other end.
Okay.
There was only like 4 issues or something like that, or like he was on a couple Avengers books where it was just like, oh, he was only there for a couple issues. He is doing the Mr. Freeze one bad day, so that's going to be interesting.
Oh,
for me.
That's Matteo Scalera on art too, so
that's crazy. That's going to be the litmus test, because if you have one shot to tell a Mr. Freeze story, if you don't get that right, forget it.
So maybe this is where I'm getting that thought from. Like I'm seeing him on like Devil's Reign X-Men or Empire Savage Avengers, where like he does the book, but like the tie-in version. You know what I mean? Where I'm seeing that a lot, like Doctor Strange, but it was like the Best Defense, which was like the series of Defender one-shots.
I think he's out of that phase, though. I think that
maybe
since Hickman left X-Men, Gerry Duggan got to level up.
Fair.
And if you like what he's
Infinity
doing,
Countdown,
yeah. So, I'll be reading this. I mean, we will inevitably read this for Pals Bulls. But December, I'm into it. So this is the weird part of the solicits from this month. For some reason, both Marvel and DC chose November to put out a whole suite of 90s inspired variant covers for their titles. I don't know what memo went out across both brands. Maybe this is the team up aspect, which we're going to be talking about more later, our main topic. But not only are both companies doing revival books, 90s inspired revival books, but they're doing covers too. We know about the Extreme X-Men book that's coming.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. But we've got some pretty cool covers. Right now you're showing the Amazing Spider-Man.
One, where his web shooters are actual guns. Yeah.
I hadn't seen that.
It's goofy, but it's kind of fun. Like, look at his shoulder pads for no reason.
A lot of shoulder pads.
Straps.
Ken Lashley, Captain America Falcon one.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I love 90s art, like in a way where I don't actually love it, but
Oh, well, that is cool.
it's just kind of fun, I guess. Like I like all the shoulder pads, the extreme edge armor type stuff.
Yeah, it's fun to reminisce about a time in comics that almost killed the industry.
Do you have by chance the Avengers 62, the Blade one, where he's got
I don't
all
have the Blade one. No, I didn't put
it's
that on there.
all those stakes? Oh my god.
I got the
That's
Phil
so
Noto
funny.
Fantastic Four one, which strangely gets rid of Sue's boob window that she actually had in the 90s.
Probably just don't want to get
The Shang-Chi one makes him look like Gambit for some reason.
Yeah.
And I put the Strange Academy Finals one on there too, which good book. It's good storylines there.
The Thanos Death Notes one is pretty sick. Linilyu, oh my god.
I gotta say, when we get to it though, I think DC did a better job.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. These were okay. I'm not big on themed variants. So out of these, the only one I'll probably get is the Thanos one.
Not even the Spider-Man one?
Nah, it's cute, but
Well,
maybe
so,
the Ghost Rider.
How long till we see that character in a Spider-Verse book?
Spider-Man with guns? Probably never.
Not long.
Or does the Spider-Man Noir have guns?
I think he does.
He does, yeah. And then I think Spider-Man: The End had a gun too. There's a couple of them.
That's just so goofy to me. Like, what? Spider-Man has actual legitimate powers. Why would he need a gun? You know what I'm saying? Like,
This is like for me, like as a kid growing up, when I watched wrestlers, like in my head, I'm like, why doesn't anyone just bring a gun? Like, easy way to
some
win.
brought knives. New Jack.
Hey, R.I.P. New Jack. But
yeah, man. And then the last thing we're going to talk about in the Marvel side of things is potentially a new era for the X-Men. So this week they put out a teaser that has like, the line when you're in the hospital or whatever, that tells, checks your health,
heart rate.
your heart rate. Thank you.
Heart rate.
Heart rate monitor.
EKG.
Yes. It's got that going, and the letters SOS, and the O is in red. January 2023. We don't know what that means.
I do.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, that means the Eternals win.
All right. I mean, sure. That's a fair guess.
The fucking, the whole event right now is about the Eternals coming to kill the X-Men who are deviants. And now the X-Men are suddenly in trouble. It's right there.
So I think in this context, right, killing the X-Men would mean removing their ability to resurrect. That's what I would say. Like,
Yeah.
that would be an SOS critical situation. However, is it time for that? Like, are we there?
I don't know if we're there for it to be removed completely. But I would say it could be about time for that to be under threat.
Can we just give them a break? Like, it's been like one thing after another. Like, these guys just want to live on an island and fucking orgies, like, let them.
But we spent so long without them, in this new era, without them interacting with the world. Like, this is what we wanted.
Yeah, I'm with you. My only thing is I don't want to see this era come to an end yet. And I hope that's not what this is. I don't think it is. I've seen maybe it's Apocalypse's return. Maybe he needs help.
Oh, interesting. Or
it's an SOS call from him. Okay.
Maybe it's an SOS call to him.
Okay. I like that too. I'm on record as saying I think Apocalypse is returning in this event that we're currently reading. But
sense.
that makes sense to me too, where maybe SOS is him calling for their help. Because there's, at this point, right, we've told a lot of stories on Krakoa. So if you take the X-Men and you say, okay, well, let's throw them into where's Apocalypse right now? A Menth? Is that what it's called?
Good luck
Or
trying to get me to
Racco?
remember the Ten of Swords, but
Yeah. But if you take them and you put them there, that's kind of interesting. So, I just hope it's not like, all right, we're winding down. I don't want that.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of like what the red O means. Like, I feel like that's got to mean something. Do you have trading cards, Cal?
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Did you guys Did you guys not get these? The trading cards for when the Krakoan era started.
No.
You didn't get these? Oh man,
No.
they rule. I use them as.
Does it have a
bookmarks,
translator on it?
mostly, but I have a translator. Yeah, that came with it.
Oh, that's so
There's
cool.
What made me think of it was there's the Krakoan alphabet at the end of that trailer, isn't it?
yeah.
Let's see what it says.
I think it just says SOS though.
It may just say SOS,
Yeah.
which is
They don't put anything cool in those anymore. They used to go hard with that. It was awesome back in the day. But,
Maybe the SOS. I think I know what the SOS is. I just had a big brain moment.
Okay.
It's an SOS for the editorial line to Hickman.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, that's my SOS. I'm putting out a message right now. Message in a bottle. Jonathan Hickman, please return. And he did have an announcement for a book that he was doing with Valerio Schiti, I think, right?
Yep.
So, could be.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago.
That
No,
was
like
a week ago, a week or two ago.
San Diego. So a little under a month.
Yeah. What if this is that? I doubt it, but come on. Pull up the Brinks truck, bring them back. Let's do it. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about a new Jason Aaron.
A new Jonathan Hickman. Let's
I
go.
wish, please. A new Jason Aaron book. The man who's known mostly for Marvel stuff at this point, but outside of Marvel, known for stuff like Scalped.
Scalped. Yep.
Yep. Which came out through Image. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
I think so.
Jason
I think
Aaron was kind of an Image boy on his come up.
Yeah, and with Southern Bastards too.
Yeah. Well, he's switching sides.
Scalped was
Because
Vertigo. Scalped was Vertigo.
Okay. All right. He's switching sides because he is now putting out his newest creator-owned book through Boom. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World is the name of the book. And it's described as an apocalyptic love story. So, okay. It's going to be interesting, though, because it's going to include multiple artists across the series. The cover is by Mike Del Mundo. It's a pretty cool cover. I like it.
Yeah, him and Jason Aaron are always doing stuff together.
Yeah.
I think since like Weird World at Marvel, which was during the Secret War stuff.
He also did the Goddamned over at Image, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Jason Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that there's going to be, I think, 3 different artists tackling 5-issue arcs each. The first one's going to be Alexander Tefenki, who did The Good Asian, if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Eisner Award-winning book. Or Eisner Award-winning book. The second arc is going to be Nick Dragotta from East of West with Jonathan Hickman.
Hey. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You're a big East to West guy, right, Sean?
Never read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never read it. I like this. Because we're getting Lee Lowridge too on colors. Again, the cool cover by Del Mundo. So it's like it's like all these different great artists, and then also Jason Aaron, who right now, whose star has never been brighter. Talk about Thor: Love and Thunder, you know, two of his brain children, the mighty Thor and Gore, on screen. Now is literally the perfect time to announce a new creator-owned book. And from Boom, oh my god, huge. I could see this being one of the biggest releases of the year from a financial standpoint, sales standpoint.
I can see that.
I'm excited for it. I mean, I like the creative teams that have been announced so far. So
Yeah.
I like the way you said that too. We've got all these amazing artists all over the place, and also Jason Aaron is there.
Meant nothing by it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about this. I like to see what the heavy hitters do when they do creator owned. And so, did I expect Jason Aaron to announce an apocalyptic love story? Not at all. But I'll check it out. See what that's about. Let's move over to DC, where they are rewinding to the 90s in November. They put out a press release this week where they talked about several new things they're going to be doing. Well, new and 90s don't go together, right? But several new books we're going to be getting, including their own 90s themed variant covers. Let's start with Wildcats, though. So we're getting a new Wildcats book in November. Matthew Rosenberg and Steven Segovia.
about time. Yeah.
About time for what? New Wildcats?
Specifically by Rosenberg. Rosenberg's been writing Grifter in various different books for years now.
That's right. Yeah.
So seeing this finally, because like it's like I smelled it coming. You know, I smelled the stank of the Wildcats throughout the DC universe for years now. Honestly, since like New 52 with like Team 6, which had Grifter in it. Like there's always been little bits of Wildcats here and there. I mean, they really ramped up within the last, I would say, 3 years or so, with like Grifter being more a part of the Bat family and building up the side characters through that.
Is that guy? Who's that guy you guys always make fun of me for? Wildcat, right? Or what's his name?
Different Wildcat.
Very
Wildcat.
different.
We'll talk about him later, though. But different Wildcat.
Okay, so he's not. Yeah.
I thought that's where you were starting with this was Wildcat.
Maybe I should have. Wildcat. It's so confusing. I have no relationship to this at all.
I actually don't either. The most relationship I have with Wildcats is Grifter, and that's only because a friend I had in middle school was super into Grifter. So,
interestingly, Matthew Rosenberg is putting the Wildcats up against the Court of Owls.
Oh, that's a choice. Interesting.
Yeah.
we were saying that Rosenberg has been using Grifter in the background of urban legends. Is that right?
Urban Legends. I think he was also in backups during Detective Comics for a bit. He's been all over the place. Yeah.
Is he sort of Grifter? Is he sort of like sort of officially affiliated with the Bat family now?
It's in the same way that like Batman has rivals in the whole like mercenary field. Like with Deathstroke and stuff.
Okay.
Grifter's is like one of those guys that's like, oh yeah, I know who Grifter is because he was in that same kind of field as I was. He's a colleague more. Okay. I wouldn't consider him a Bat family member though.
Like the Question, like his relationship with the
Question. Like a loose affiliation.
Sure. Yeah. It's more like Grifter is often drawn to Gotham because Gotham's a cesspool.
Yeah. He operates in Gotham, so Batman's like, "You're mine."
You're mine.
Yeah.
I like Matthew Rosenberg, but something has been kind of missing. Like, it hasn't quite connected the way that I thought it would, as far as like going from sort of running the X ship back when that was still a dirty word, X-Men, Marvel, to now being the writer to bring back Jean Grey, all that good stuff. I don't feel like it's parlayed into anything major quite yet. And the biggest thing that he has is what's the furthest place from here, which I couldn't get into. But I really, really like Matthew Rosenberg.
Same.
Did an interview with him at NYCC. Really great guy. I'm waiting for that big thing.
I feel like this is what we've been waiting for a while, though. Like, he's been talking about Wildcats for years at this point.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I feel like his career has been waiting for this book.
He's got that Jean Grey stank on him.
Oh, what?
You can't wash that off.
I wish I had that Jean Grey stank on me. Anyway,
Yikes.
You got that stank in him.
So speaking of stank, let's talk about another 90s revival. We're getting more Wildstorm. And not only are we getting new Wildstorm, we're getting Wildstorm with Amanda Waller. So Waller versus Wildstorm is a new book we're going to get. It's going to be Spencer Ackerman, Evan Narcisse, Eric Battle. I don't know anything about Wildstorm.
So they'll just name a book anything, huh?
Yeah, actually.
Waller versus Wildstorm.
Okay. Now,
this is a blind spot for me. Yeah.
Is Wildcat a part of this?
No.
Nope.
So where the hell is? Oh.
We'll get to it.
Okay. I got it now.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wildstorm was Jim Lee's Image spinoff.
Yeah.
That is now under his watch at DC, I guess.
I believe so. Again, this is a blind spot for me. So, like, I don't want to.
That all sounds accurate to me. Wildstorm was definitely his imprint.
What's the one that Warren Ellis and Garth Ennis did that was
Authority?
Authority. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got those mixed up. Yep.
Yeah, so this is, this is fine. This is the 30th anniversary of Wildstorms. So I think it's you go back 30 years, that's 92. That's a pretty, important year for comics. So I guess it makes sense that they're doing this now.
Good Forniez cover too, because this is one of those Black Label books. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
There's Wesley Snipes obviously on the cover.
Word, right? Oh my god. Couldn't be more obvious. But then we did get the 90s covers. The 90s inspired covers, which, as we said earlier, these are pretty good. I'll go by what you have on screen, Tyler.
So
of course.
I had to start with Mullet Superman. Best one.
Oh yeah.
Mullet Superman with super crypto. Yeah, crypto.
Are mullets back in America?
No.
Oh, they got mullet competitions going on right now. Yep.
What?
Because kids are walking around with like full ass thick mullets around here, and it is not okay.
Yeah, there's like an NPR article about it. The Child Mullet Championship finalists. There's some great names on this too. Oh man, let me see if I can find some of these names. There's one guy. His name is like Epic Cash Emmett Fisher.
Well, that
some
kid
killer. Like these kids, fuck. Like these guys got some killer mullets.
These kids, fuck. Tyler, what's wrong with you?
Turn a phrase, Sean. Turn a phrase. Turn a phrase.
Maybe not that one. Don't
turn
turn
that
maybe
phrase
the
the other way.
Maybe the wrong turn of phrase.
What the hell?
I'm trying to say these kids are cool as shit. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so let's see another cover because
mulletchamp.com. Howdy.
Not doing
All right. There was the Chris Burnham Batman Inc. cover.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one.
So what I liked about these DC covers, and we'll go through a couple of them, is that Marvel tried making them cool, and DC made them funny. Is what I got out of it. Like you got the mullet one. This one's bringing back cleavage in this one, so.
That's funny. Cleavage is funny.
It could be funny. When it's on night, it's kind of funny. She has armor everywhere except for the cleavage. I think that's kind of funny.
I really liked. I thought the Batman versus Bane one from Batman 129 was pretty good.
Was that amygdala on it?
It was Ryan Benjamin.
No, I mean the guy breaking Batman's back. Was it amygdala? Because it's not Bane.
That's not the cover I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what character that is.
The Batman versus Robin one by Carlo Barberi is really good.
Ooh. I got the Batman.
And those costumes,
Superman
boy,
ones.
look at that. Those 90s costumes.
Whoa, what is that?
I threw the one with young Kale on the cover on it. This Young Justice one or Flash one, I believe. So.
What?
Just picture that's what you would have looked like as a young Kale.
I think you're right, Tyler.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely amygdala on Detective Comics.
It's the one I'm referencing right now is a little further down. I think it's a Teen Titans one.
I'm getting there. I haven't seen it pop up. Oh, holy shit!
Yeah, there are some pretty cool ones on here.
Yeah,
Black Adam one. The Harley Quinn one, I didn't put that on there because it did not scream 90s to me at all.
I don't know what Harley was doing in the 90s in terms of her
She was
and I don't
the
think
first
she
costume. Yeah.
existed in 92, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Put the classic Tim Drake Robin costume on there. It's like good. That's a Todd Knock one. It's real good stuff.
you got the Wonder Woman cover? Jen
I
Martell?
do. I think that's the last one I have on this list. Yeah. Let's see. Yep. Which it does. Jen Bartel's art just cannot be 90s because it's such a modern style. But I like the dress on it.
I don't know. I feel like this is a send off or take off of Superboy, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
To a degree, yeah.
I think Diana did rock the gloves during the 90s too. So.
Okay. I think it looks super.
She
cool.
was in leather, a lot of leather in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I think it's a very good cover. It just doesn't scream a 90s cover to me. It seems like a modern interpretation of 90s.
Like
I will say
a 30-year-old's interpretation of the 90s.
Yeah.
Hey, we were all there.
Very good jeans though. Like there's some detailed jeans that Jen Bartel drew.
The 90s were the Levi's era.
It's true. You got the Rob Liefeld doing photo shoots for it.
That's right.
It's too bad you didn't include the World's Finest cover. I thought that was fun. The Chip Zdarsky.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Oh, I did. I put that on there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on there.
I missed it. That's a really good one too. It's Superman and Batman standing posing, and their capes are so wild that they're covering their faces.
Yeah. Also, you can't see the feet either, which I think it's a good little touch too.
Yeah. Chip Zdarsky bringing the funny there. And then keeping it more old school, I guess. We got 3 books coming from everybody's problematic fave, Geoff Johns.
Now we can talk about Wildcat.
Oh, yes. So we're getting a book called The New Golden Age #1. And it looks like this is going to be a book that melds the past and the present, and I guess the future, because Mime and Marionette are in it.
Oh, God, come on.
There's babies, Kale.
Yep. This is Johns with Steve Lieber, Jerry Ordway, Diego Olortegui. So it looks like it's going to feature a lot of old school characters like the OG Green Lantern, Stargirl's in it.
Both Wildcats, which is nice.
Oh yeah.
Wait, there's two of these motherfuckers now?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
one's
man,
a ginger and one's like an old boxer. Like somebody who could have trained Daredevil had a box, you know.
I think his son is also Wildcat. I don't,
He's got a
around,
kid?
yeah,
It's wild.
and he's an actual cat.
He had a
He's a-
shot.
Oh, I think that was the '90s one, wasn't it?
No, this was
No?
he came around post Infinite Crisis.
Okay. We're also getting the return of the Justice Society.
Hell yeah.
So they came back obviously in Dark Crisis #3, but now they're going to be getting a new series. Geoff Johns and Mikkel Janin.
It's good. That's a pretty A tier team.
Ooh, yeah. That's fire. Yannick Paquette did a variant too.
Ain't no denying that one.
I feel like you talk about stuff that's been in the background. I feel like they've been building this for a long time.
Yeah. I did throw the '90s nostalgia variant by Joe Quinones for JSA on there.
So good.
Sick.
It's so good because it has the Fate from the '90s. It's not even like I'm gonna 9-defy Dr. Fate. Like they were already done. And then Starman, which is the good Starman, is on here.
Yeah.
Hawk Girl though.
Yeah.
She has the Archangel wings.
Yeah, the rogue. Did you ever read Dial H for Hero, Sean?
No.
By Joe Quinones?
No.
It is a masterclass of art. The whole bit is that it's this little kid. He dials his phone and he gets random superheroes' powers, and every time it's a new superhero. But Quinones draws every single iteration of what comics could have been. He does manga. He does like a Tank Girl kind of knockoff. He does 90s stuff. It's really good. And he can kind of ape these art styles from specific eras so well. And that's why I really like this cover.
Yeah, great cover for sure. Sylv Stevenson says the mad love type look. Oh, for Harley Quinn, yeah.
Yep.
Mad Love the comic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never read
the more jester with the tassels, you know, like the
the OG costume.
Yeah, the animated series. Yeah, that would have been her in the '90s.
Yeah. Why didn't they just do that?
I don't know. That's why I didn't like the cover.
Okay. Yeah. All right. But then the last Geoff Johns book is Stargirl: The Lost Children. So obviously Stargirl is Geoff Johns' baby, right?
Yep. Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Geoff Johns' adult.
Yeah.
Isn't that essentially his sister who passed? Like, isn't that
That's
the whole
what I-
thing
yeah,
about it?
that's-
Yeah.
Todd Knock did the art. I have no relationship to Stargirl. I didn't watch the show. I don't know anything about her really, other than what we literally just discussed. So
She was mostly in the JSA when Geoff Johns was doing stuff with her. She did a couple of things, appeared in Young Justice and Teen Titans a couple of times, but it was never anything that fit, that stuck. But she is in the JSA like officially. There's a weird period of time where she and Captain Marvel, she and Billy Batson were dating. But the rest of the JSA thought it was really weird when she and Captain Marvel would flirt.
No.
Oh my god.
And the worst part is, like, as a reader, they were collected so bad that I never got resolution to that. So I've always wondered how that ended, but because they're Billy Batson and Stargirl, great couple. I think it makes perfect sense. But this other angle,
That's Kitty Colossus territory right there.
yeah.
Okay, Sylph says she appeared in No Man's Land. That was her introduction to comics. I didn't know
One of
that.
those
I've
ones
never...
that's a blind spot for me.
Huh.
I tried to get No Man's Land when I was like, okay, I need everything Batman. Like, I need to know everything. And it was always sold out. And then by the time that it was restocked, I didn't care anymore. I should pick that up, though.
It's been out of print forever.
Yeah.
I've tried to get it for years, and I've never been able to get my hands on it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Geoff Johns, welcome with open arms. Like, is it a joke? Well, to DC, not necessarily to us.
To here.
Yeah, is it a joke that he just doesn't write black characters? Like, because
I was gonna mention that this is a very, very white group. Like, there's a lot of characters in here, and it's
the Stargirl book is called what? Stargirl: The Lost Children.
2 black characters on that cover.
Oh, okay. Where are they? Let me see.
There's a kid in the middle, and then there's
like the Hooded Justice knockoff over there.
Yeah. John, what's it?
John Henry Irons sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Tall Tale.
I think it's the same name as Steel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also no black people in the JSA.
Nope.
Well,
I don't know if I can blame him for that, though.
That's right up his alley, though. Like,
well, no.
Think about the fact that what?
Mr. Terrific, of course.
No, the guy with the genie. What was his name?
Jakeem Thunder. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Jakeem Thunder. Yeah.
All right. So you know what? Geoff Johns is the problem here, then.
Because I'm looking at that cover.
Jakeem Thunder does show up in one of the other covers. I think for the new Golden Age, he's kind of in there. So
okay.
There's that, but no Mr. Terrific anywhere that I can see, which is kind of a weird omission, in my opinion.
No, he's in there in the Todd Knock. Which book is this? The Todd Knock New Golden Age.
Oh, is he? Okay.
You've got the original, who's a white guy, but then you've got the, I guess, what's supposed to be a new one. I'm sure there's a story behind that. But
oh, I see. Yeah, the younger looking one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you read that? Did you read that as it was coming out, or how did you? Because I literally don't even know how to get access to that stuff. I know you said it wasn't actually in No Man's Land, but like I don't know how to get access to any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up what Harley's first in continuity story is, and I'm having trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I never even thought that I didn't know. Like she's just always been around, and then from the show, the animated series, so I didn't even think about it. But that's good. That's good info. Thank you.
Batman Harley Quinn #1, 1999.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
That's from Sil. I don't know.
I know Batman Adventures is the tie-in comic to the cartoon show. That's technically her first appearance in comics, but I guess that would be her first in continuity appearance.
Okay. Interesting. Well, zooming right out of the 90s and into the now, let's do some Ezra watch. So last week, you guys discussed the fact that Ezra had some charges.
A little bit.
Against them. Some charges for felony burglary, in fact.
What?
What were they burglaring? Hamburgers? Burglary?
No, alcohol. Didn't you guys talk about it? They stole.
You think I remember what we talk about week to week? I gotta refresh every week.
They stole alcohol from a home in Vermont. And it says that Ezra was arrested. This comicbook.com article says Ezra was arrested. Now, I that's just what they're saying. I don't know if that's true. I'm assuming it is. Take them at their word. But post that, apparently Ezra is now going to be seeking mental health treatment. So we have a statement from Ezra given to Variety that says, having recently gone through a time of intense crisis.
Typical Flash maneuver, yeah.
I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment. I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I'm committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life. That's not what we want. Ezra. We don't want that. Yes, you should get help. I think we all want that. Yes, but Ezra Miller is a menace and must face justice. This statement is such bullshit, okay?
Real J. Jonah Jameson stuff coming out of you right now.
Well, but okay, yeah, maybe so, but listen to this. Ezra said, I want to apologize to everyone that I have upset and alarmed. Upset and alarmed. You actually hurt people. You choked a woman out, okay? You went to a bar, karaoke, and assaulted somebody because you didn't like their singing. You went to a hotel room and attacked a couple. There were guns, babies, bullets, all kinds of madness. And you're talking about people you alarmed? We're all alarmed. The alarm bells are going off. And they're going off across the world because we don't know where you're going to pop up next to commit crime.
This all amounts to a whoops.
Yeah. You want to resume life, a healthy and productive stage. Be productive in prison. Go learn your lesson. The hell?
Be productive in prison.
Yeah.
No, you can. You can get pretty brolic there.
License plates or whatever. Underwear. Seen Orange is the New Black?
Sean is pro prison industrial complex, apparently.
For one person. For one person.
Yeah, man. Come on. Now, look. All right.
You need to get Blackgate ready.
Speaking of black, imagine if Ezra was black. You kidding?
They wouldn't have gotten half as far as they did.
Listen. If Ezra Miller was a black person, they would have found Ezra in Iceland. They would have found Ezra.
I feel like it might be a little easy to find him in Iceland, but
they would have found Ezra in Australia. They would have found Ezra anywhere. Those barns or cabins or wherever the fuck Ezra's keeping kids in that cult, they would have blown it up. There's no way. This is bullshit.
Ezra exudes rich kid aura.
Yeah.
You know? Like, do
Especially
you know my dad's
mustache.
Warner Discovery? You know?
Yeah.
Just annoying. You ever see that It's Always Sunny meme where they're throwing darts at this guy's face and it's like, I've had enough of this guy. Like, that's how I feel.
And Sylv makes a great point. You know, this whole, I have complex mental health issues. Okay.
Me too.
Yeah. A lot of people do. That's kind of where the world's at, my friend. That's how it is. That doesn't give you the right to have babies with bullets in their mouths or whatever the hell that was. Or to kidnap underage girls or groom them or whatever has been going on. This is insane.
Or disrupt a perfectly fine karaoke night.
Yeah, I don't want to do, like, we're laughing and stuff. We've been doing stories about Ezra Miller for months.
And all the while, this is happening in between reshoots, which I think is darkly funny, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what's he talking about at craft services? Like, you know what I did this weekend, you know?
They said they couldn't find Ezra.
Yeah.
But Ezra was on the set of The Flash.
Well, The Flash is very fast. Sometimes shows up as a blur, so...
This isn't Osama bin Laden we're talking about. They're in some cave somewhere. This is a person who's eating craft services on the set of a movie that we all know is being made. You can't find him.
Did John Cena announce? Did John Cena announce that Ezra Miller is going into therapy and to address mental health issues?
Why would John Cena? I don't get that.
You don't remember when John Cena announced the death of Osama bin Laden live on TV?
What? Wasn't that Obama?
No, it was Cena announced it like I think a little earlier than even the president announced it.
Yes, I recall.
What?
Yeah.
And yeah, people will go see this movie not knowing what Ezra's accused of doing, for sure. I'm gonna go see it. That's not if it releases, I'll be there. That's not even a question.
Sean's gotta support a criminal.
I am not supporting a criminal. I am supporting a multi-billion-dollar company that's putting out a movie with a character I happen to like. Well, oh my god, this is bad. This is capital B bad, and I'm tired of Ezra Miller.
Capital W.
Although I am excited for the Ezra multiverse's Flash skin. That
Wait.
gotta get my Gleamium ready. It's like the only character that has a grapple move. It's just choking.
It's Ezra Miller with a mustache and the Reverse Flash costume, I'll lose my mind. Oh,
it's a $20 skin I might pay for.
Oh my god! Wow. You know what? The only movie that you could put Ezra Miller in at this point is Joker 2.
Hey,
Throw him in Arkham.
Whoa.
Throw him in Arkham.
Can Ezra sing?
He hates karaoke. I don't know. I guess not.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they're not going to really be into that Joker 2 thing.
They could be the antagonist.
Oh, okay. All right.
We got to film here.
I mean, the antagonist of the Joker is mental health, apparently. So.
Oh, my God. All right. Oh, my God. All right. So last week, people were really upset because The Rock talked about how he changed the plans for Black Adam and Shazam. So in a response to a tweet that went out, The Rock said the following. Original script had both Black Adam and Shazam. This is the original script for Shazam. Establishing their origin stories in one film. I fought hard for both characters, plus the JSA, to have their own standalone films for fans to enjoy. And protect Black Adam's ruthless and extremely violent tone as we build out DCEU. So that's interesting to me because on one hand, what The Rock is saying is like, okay, Shazam is a big character, Black Adam is a big character, JSA are big characters. Should they all have their own films? I guess there's an argument to be made for that. Certainly for the JSA. I don't know about Black Adam, but that's where the Rock factor comes in. Mm-hmm. I think it's clear to anybody that if you're doing a movie about Shazam, if Black Adam is not the very first villain, he's got to be the second. Because there's only 3 Black Adam villains, and I can only think of 2. So to say, okay, Black Adam has to be separate from Shazam, to me says, and the message that I got out of this is, that The Rock is going into business for himself. The Rock, what he's really saying is...
being a real CM Punk in this situation, huh?
Yes. What he's really saying is, I don't want to play second fiddle to whoever is going to play Shazam.
Yeah. And I also think he's showing tonally how different those two characters are, especially in the way they're portrayed on film.
That's what's interesting.
Yeah.
I think that Shazam being a kid, juxtaposed with Black Adam being this ruthless ruler who wants to destroy him, is compelling. But when you take Shazam out of that equation, all you have is Black Adam. And as a standalone character, any historian, please correct me if I'm wrong, but up until The Rock started to talk about him, Black Adam was cool, but he wasn't the main guy. He wasn't in the Justice League. You know what I'm saying? I never really saw Black Adam like that.
Pre New 52. They'd done some stuff with him. Big stuff. He had he had a little mini event, and he was like the actual ruler of Kondak or whatever. But even still, like,
Yeah.
as big as that gets, like, he was certainly a force of nature for DC Comics. But what does that mean in 2008?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm not saying he was a jobber. I'm not saying he didn't matter, but like to the point where now, they're building the DCEU with Black Adam in mind, like heavy consideration as to like what's happening with that character when Superman doesn't even have a movie. What like are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And so for me, I don't want us to see a situation where because The Rock is The Rock, Black Adam becomes, a part of the big three or a big four, or whatever you want to call it.
But it seems like, so the way The Rock kind of, sorry, Dwayne, but the way he kind of explains it here, it says, Tone, as we build out DCEU, he feels like the only one saying we. Like, I don't really see
Yep.
Warner Discovery really talking about that. This feels like something that he's still campaigning for.
Oh, no. Last week, there was, I don't know if it was an official announcement, but I think it was, in fact, that The Rock is going to be a critical advisor to Warner as they build the DCEU.
I mean, you can't say no.
Yeah, you can.
It's like
I don't want that. I think I love The Rock, obviously. But what clout, what reason is there for him to be that person? They're looking for Kevin Feige. They got The Rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not to gatekeep. But how many comics has The Rock read? How deep does his knowledge go?
He can't read comics. It's physically impossible for him because paper beats rock.
That's pretty clever.
Thanks, Cal. Appreciate it.
That's better than where I was gonna go.
Okay.
And of course, just because he may not read all the comics in the world doesn't mean he can't have good ideas. I'm not saying that. But I don't have a good vibe about this based on the fact that he's playing one of the characters in the movies.
Yeah, he's got some investment somewhere.
Yeah, the Booker cannot be a wrestler. We saw that with Kevin Nash in WCW. It doesn't work. You can't do this. This doesn't work. But he also talked about the potential for a Marvel versus DC crossover film. And as we lead into our main topic, The Rock said, I am optimistic. Just my nature is optimistic. And especially when it comes to creative, especially when it comes to movies, and especially when it comes to the pantheon of DC superheroes and supervillains. Across the street, we have the pantheon of superheroes and villains of Marvel. To me, they can not only exist, but they should, in my mind, cross paths one day. Well, I read that, and I got to thinking. And so I thought, hey, could that work? It's happened in the books. Things are different now, but it's happened before. And the people who run the companies that put these movies out care about money. And we are in the age of the crossover. So, in our main topic, we'll be discussing whether or not a Marvel versus DC crossover movie event is possible, what that would look like, and whether we want it or not. Twitch fam will be back in 5 minutes or less. Everybody else, stick around.
Hello.
All right. We are back. And if you're still here, thank you so much for listening, watching, however you're, hanging out with us. Make sure that you leave us a follow, rating, review, wherever you're wherever you're tuning in, there's a way to support us in the moment. Of course, Twitch subscriptions help a lot. YouTube subscriptions help a lot too. Whatever you feel comfortable with, we appreciate it so much. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this potential crossover: Marvel Studios and the DCEU, what I affectionately refer to as the DCFU, because I feel like they give us the finger a lot. So let's do this. Let's use our imaginations a little, okay?
Okay, hang on.
Let's say, for the sake of this conversation, that the DCEU isn't in shambles, right? Let's say we're talking
have a
about
lot of imagination.
That's a big ask.
Let's say we're talking about a version of the DCEU that is very strong, that's enjoyable, that has a Batman, a Wonder Woman, a Superman that we like, that's been through a good Justice League movie. That's, you know, they've had their phase 1 through 3, I guess you could say, right? So maybe this is a few years down the line. Let's say, 10 years down the road. Is this a crossover that you would like to see? Is it interesting to you? Do you care about it?
I don't know. My thing is like at their core, DC Comics characters are more archetypal and much more higher powered in terms of like a power level stance than Marvel characters are. So the idea of them ever crossing over, it always results into, well, Superman wins. So if it becomes like a versus situation, I don't know why I did a scissoring thing there. It was a versus situation. That doesn't really interest me. If you can get like, I don't know, their villains teaming up and doing something, then maybe you got something that can interest me.
I mean, it's always going to be a versus situation at first. Like,
right?
Yeah, I know. So cookie cutter.
That's marketing. To me, these crossovers just it doesn't appeal to me. I'm not sure if it's just that the characters are so similar that they're different. They're so similar that they're too different. I was just looking at the picture that Tyler has up, and I'm looking at Batman and Captain America and Superman and Thor, and it just kind of, I don't know, it almost comes across as too silly.
Vision and Martian Manhunter,
Yeah.
It's interesting because if Marvel and DC announced a crossover today in comics, I would be very compelled by that. I feel like I missed the boat as a comics fan when they were doing that before. I didn't know. I wasn't reading comics at the time, and I really
I don't know if we were born yet.
Yeah, right. I really regret the fact that I never got to see that. Not in a real way. Like I had a collection that I bought once, but I gave it. I let my friend hold it, and then he moved to Florida, so I never got it back.
Good friend.
Yeah, right. And so for me, it would be super cool, right, in the comics. But when you talk about the films, and even keeping in mind the idea that DC is not as built out as Marvel, but they're in a good spot, I would like it, but I think it would break it. I think it would break the whole superhero movie thing. And even if it was good, it would be the jump the shark moment for superheroes.
It becomes like Fortnite for superheroes, where it's just like, oh, let's throw all the IP in here. Let's just throw Goku in there while we're at it.
Yep.
I think and for me, something that's much more appealing is when you get the analogs that are in those respective worlds. Like throw Squadron Supreme into like, I don't know, some kind of Marvel cinematic universe. And I think those characters are compelling. Hyperion, Like, imagine if they cast Henry Cavill as Hyperion.
Wow.
I still think he'd be a good Captain Britain, but that's just me.
What about the Sentry?
I mean, there's so many Superman analogs though in the Marvel universe. So.
I just meant like, could he play the Sentry?
No. You need luscious locks for that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Chris Hemsworth. Oh wait, he's Thor.
Yeah. Well, wait a second. There's something wrong.
I
with that,
thought that was a joke, Cal.
No, I genuinely had the thought, oh, this would be great. This will blow their minds.
But yeah, like I think it would be good. I think it could be good. I shouldn't say I think it would. I think it could be good. It could be compelling.
Could be good.
I know, right? Bringing us back
a little
to
bit.
Yeah. I think it could be good. I think it could be compelling. I think that seeing those characters on screen together would be a lot of fun. And again, we are in the crossover era right now, but it's all Marvel. Like it's all Marvel crossing over with Marvel. And that works obviously because it's all Marvel at the end of the day. But even when it's, for example, Spider-Man, not presented by Marvel, not Marvel's Spider-Man, Sony's Spider-Man, crossing over with the MCU, it still works. So how come Superman can't come through a portal and interact with the Avengers?
Here's the thing. I can see this happening in a very throwaway situation. Because imagine Avengers Secret Wars happening. We're having this huge-ass CG clusterfuck of a battle. Yeah. What's stopping them from throwing some guy with a cape in the background with the laser beams as eyes? You can't really see it. But you do see it, or like somebody with like a grappling gun. Like I don't know if you've read Donny Cates and Geoff Shaw's crossover, where like they kind of have that situation going on, where this is giant crossover, and because they can't use the big two, they use like maybe differently colored ones or the silhouettes of them, or you only see bits and pieces. You see a Batarang over here, what looks like half of a Batarang, like, so that they're there. I could see maybe that happening, and I think that's cute enough where I'm like, fine. I'd almost prefer that over literally them crossing over.
Yeah.
I think I'm very Will Smith about it. Keep that name out your mouth.
Keep that idea out your mouth. Okay, so all right, fine. We established that we don't know that it's a good idea.
But honestly, not to cut you off, Sean, but like honestly, it is very hard to imagine DC having a cinematic universe that is at equal. Like I know you said use your imagination. It's hard.
That's the biggest ask. It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, not equal, but built out, solid. On solid ground. Not solid like Zack Snyder, not solid like what we have now, solid like, again, phase 1 to 3 Marvel, where it's like, this is a thing that's happening, this is a thing that works, it functions like that. I don't think DC could ever be equal, simply because Marvel has been solid for way longer. But do you think that the corporate brands behind these companies would allow this to take place?
No.
Not in a million years.
No way.
Never.
We can't even get a solid agreement about one character coming over and doing any bullshit. Like, no way.
And Sylph makes a good point in chat about the reprint of the crossover. That was a whole fiasco earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Hot commodity too. Yeah.
Yeah, the George Perez. I think when you're talking about the movies, though, it's a little different. The biggest problem would be profits. That would be the biggest issue.
Yeah, how do you split
paying
that?
for it? Who's
merchandising
getting money
too.
out of it? Yeah, merchandising. That would be a mess.
I mean, but like I say no, but like if you've watched Rescue Rangers recently, great movie on Disney Plus. Chippendale sort of situation. There's a bit, the whole premise of the movie is like everything's crossing over with each other. There's a bit where Chip and Dale are walking down like Hollywood Boulevard or something, and there's like billboards for random shit. There's like a billboard for Dobby from Harry Potter in a Gucci ad. Like, that's not Disney IP. And there's also a billboard and a trailer for Batman versus E.T.
Wow.
So they used essentially Batman in a Disney movie somehow. I think they did it under the guise of parody, though, which is how they got away with it. But like, I would give it a 99.9% repeating, of course, chance of not happening. But like, I can never say never. Sort of situation, especially when there's money involved. Especially when Warner Discovery 2 is a little weird with their decisions.
Shoot, even Kevin Feige had something to say about this. Kevin Feige said never say never. I'm trying to pull up the
when he says that, I feel like that's more like, oh, never say never, because Warner might just sell off DC and we would buy it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the only way we get it, is if it becomes under one conglomerate, really.
So, yeah. So Kevin Feige said, let's see. Well, look, my standard answer to these things are never say never. I never thought we'd get this far. So he literally said, never say never. James Gunn talked about it too. James Gunn said, I've casually talked to the powers that be at both Marvel and DC about it. I would love to see it happen. I don't think it's likely, but I don't think it's an impossibility either. That said, just constantly seeing crossovers and mashups is less enchanting to me than a strong story. The idea of being able to bring Marvel and DC together in a movie, that would be really fun to me. And I know it's exciting to even the heads of Marvel and DC to think about. Kevin over at Marvel and Toby Emmerich over at Warner Brothers. It's something we all like to dream about, whether we can ever get through the barrage, the Berlin Wall of lawyers we would need to get through to ever make something like that happen. I don't know, but it would be a blast. And I think that that's at the core of it for me, is that, you know, when I was a kid, I guess I knew the difference, but I didn't know why they couldn't just do stuff together. And that's the ultimate mashup. So from a fun standpoint, which I think it would be fun, I think whether it was good or not, like ultimately, objectively, or whatever, I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I think it would satisfy the inner child in all of us.
It would be the ultimate lobotomy movie, where like my brain activity it doesn't need to work at all. Like, I go in there and I veg out. You know, it's for 4 hours. You know,
respect to Kevin Feige and James Gunn, but ain't no story coming out of that.
Okay, fair enough. And it's also worth pointing out, like, you would not be able to have everybody, right? Like, think about what's the closest example? Would be Endgame, right? Which has everybody, but everybody doesn't get the spot. You know, like, the large majority of the movie focuses on about 6 characters or so, and then at the end you get this big explosion, but it's in bits and chunks, right? Having to do that across 2, you know, franchises like Marvel and DC, it wouldn't work that way. So, as a closeout to this topic, why don't we come up with a way to make it work with a limited roster?
Ooh, a Tim Gunn situation. Make it work.
What's Tim Gunn? Who's that?
Oh, you guys never watched Project Runway. Never mind.
I got the reference. I don't watch Project Runway, but I got the reference.
All right. Thank you. Maybe the Venn diagram of Project Runway watchers and comic book podcast listeners is very slim.
So first of all, which studio produces it? Is it Marvel or is it DC?
Is that a question?
Marvel. I think Marvel.
Just from a pure control standpoint.
Pure control, but also I think they'll be the ones to execute it better.
I would trust that Marvel would get it done better, to your point, especially because at the current moment we don't have a framework for what a good DC looks like.
And yeah, they would be able to get it done, I guess, is even the better way to put it.
Right. My only concern, I guess, would be the way that DC characters would be portrayed in a Marvel environment. Although that's probably not that big of a deal. Like with the exception of, I guess, Batman, which is weird to say. And I guess so. I feel like it would be awkward to see Batman in that world, but I don't feel like that in the comics. I feel like in the movies, the tone of them is such that Batman wouldn't really fit in.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you could definitely get away with pretty much everybody else at DC being in a Marvel film.
I think Batman works with Marvel probably more than the others, honestly.
In the movies,
I think so. Yeah. He's the most grounded, and Marvel are typically more grounded characters.
but the movies are like half comedies. Batman's,
You ever watch 66? Like, it exists, or the Schumacher stuff.
But that's not going to come on.
We haven't touched it in a while.
Intellectual honesty right now. That's not the version of Batman.
I think you can have a Batman that's a little jokey. We had it with Ben Affleck in Justice League. They weren't good jokes, but it was attempted.
He also killed people.
So does half the Marvel universe, you know?
Yeah.
Every one of their villains is dead. Like, they're like anti-Batman. Batman will be a voice of reason in the Marvel universe. Like, whoa, don't kill your villains off. That's how you stay in the public eye. Keep them alive.
What's he gonna do? Ask Thor, do you bleed?
Probably.
Yeah, and then Hulk bleeds into him, and then you have Batman Hulk.
Amalgam, here we come. So okay.
Can I just bring up Catherine's point in the chat?
Sure, yeah.
She wants to know if you rather have, like where the analogs are next to each other, like Cap and Superman in a way, or Cap and Batman, or would you rather them fill out the roster without having their analogs, like where you keep Superman but no Thor, or you keep Batman but no Iron Man in a way, so where there's only one archetype per.
I think that's the way it makes sense. I think that's the way we see the clashes work. It's putting the archetypes against each other. So Batman and against Iron Man makes a lot of sense to me.
So I think that's interesting because of the fact that it would have, like, my imagination for what this movie would look like is, through some circumstance, a certain amount of characters, probably 6, from like 3 from Marvel, 3 from DC type of thing, are forced to team up.
That low?
Yeah. Because I don't think you could do it too big. Maybe the big fight at the end, you can have them come through and they're facing off with like Darkseid and Apocalypse or something nuts like that. But I think for the bulk of the movie, you have to keep the roster low. And so at that point, I would agree that you want to have, like, you got to have Superman, right? You got to have Batman, and you got to have Wonder Woman. And then on the Marvel end, you got to have what? Cap?
It's Cap, Iron Man, Thor, but then you have a very male, white-led team.
Yeah, we couldn't. No. I don't even know that it could be. Like, keep in mind, this is
written by Geoff Johns.
This is the MCU, so Tony's dead. There's no Iron Man.
Yeah.
So, and Cap is Sam Wilson. So you have to have Sam. And then who would, like, Captain Marvel?
Carol, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And the third biggest would be Thor still.
Right?
Yeah. No, Sony ain't having any part of this shit. They're too busy coming up with Silver Sable still.
And even still, I don't think Spider-Man is big enough in the MCU to warrant this type of thing. Okay. I think it would have to be like Thor.
Yeah.
At that point, I think I would rather see, and obviously, like, going by right now, this doesn't make sense.
Doctor
but of course,
Strange.
This wouldn't happen. This would be in the future. At that point, I'd rather see Mighty Thor.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Wanda.
She's a bad guy now.
I mean, Wanda versus Superman would be very interesting, especially with magic.
Oh. That's how this happens. Wanda's the bad guy.
Again? She got kid troubles yet again?
I could see Wanda being the catalyst.
Yeah.
like incidentally,
Some
accidentally, maybe.
Nexus being, you know.
Yeah, I could see that. I like that. And then, okay, so are you guys
Maybe
all on
that's how
board?
you depower Superman a bit too. You know, like bring him to, because essentially this sounds like it's happening in the Marvel universe. So you got to depower Superman a bit. You know.
So the latent magic
Yeah.
that is the Scarlet Witch of it all depowers him just a bit. I don't.
But
hate
That
that.
also
I don't hate
means that DC movies previously would have to have let you know that magic is Superman's like other
Yeah,
kryptonite. You know.
I think though that's that this would be as good a place as any.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Establish that. Oh, this is something I've never felt before. What is this? Oh man, you're weak to magic. Happens to all of us. Robert Downey Jr. makes an ED joke, and
I thought you were doing my impression of me when I watched Titanic for the first time.
Okay.
That art scene.
Just let it go. So I think that this makes as much sense as anything. My only concern as far as the team goes is like I would like to see the Flash. It's not that funny of a team right now, but
I think. Well, see, that's sort of what I was thinking. I think like this, it's got to be a JLA versus Avengers, right? I think you take the core of both of those teams, and then you have to mash them up. I think you're right in that like end game scenario of like, we'll have a couple of focuses, but then everyone else takes part in the big battle.
right. And I guess Civil War proved you can have, because Civil War the teams were like what 6-6,
Yeah.
something like that. So I guess you could expand that out more. And there are obvious characters that you would want to have involved in a situation like that. What villains are we using?
Kang.
Oh, well, we've got the Scarlet Witch.
I guess.
I wouldn't want her to be like the big bad, because that's old hat, and then I like her as a way to get us into this, but I think there have to be classic Marvel and DC villains in the mix.
What about Ultron?
I'll never say no to Ultron.
I think Brainiac on the DC side has got to be who that is.
Oh, all right. I really want James Spader back though. James Spader as Brainiac.
Oh, that could work.
Oh, wait.
That could work.
Wait, what about
Brainiac's trying to get the Marvel universe into its own little pocket dimension?
Bottle. Yeah. What about Ultron and Brainiac? It's like a fusion.
Oh, that could be cool.
And that could be who they fight at the end.
That's the big MCU kaiju battle at the end of every fucking MCU property now.
It's the composite Brainiac Ultron android.
This should be a video game. I know we're pitching this as a movie, but this sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, like an Injustice type of thing. Yeah,
I can see them coming together and building like a freaking Megazord, and all I'm hearing now is the Power Rangers theme song in the back of as the soundtrack.
But I would like to see like Lex has to make some kind of an appearance. He's got to be involved in some form of fashion.
I think with something like this, though, you just gotta you have to take that hit. I think it's gonna be so. It has to be so condensed.
Yeah.
It can only be people with the power to do this. So if we're talking Ultron and Brainiac, like maybe they're just able to, through the Scarlet Witch, communicate or something through the super magic space internet.
Yeah.
I think how you bring Lex in is like post-credit scene. All the universes are back to normal. We go to the Marvel universe, but Lex is there, and he's the only one left in the Marvel universe.
Behind.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like Bryan Cranston could play a very who played Lex in the
Jesse Eisenberg? No.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
No.
I feel it. Yeah. I think that's correct. Yeah. I feel like Bryan Cranston could bring that type of energy,
especially to a modern Superman.
Yeah. Damn. That's kind of fun too. Shit. Um,
Man, fuck Mark Guggenheim. Hire us, DC.
You know what? I kind of like this.
yeah. This ain't bad.
This could rule.
Chad, are you into this? Are you into the Marvel DC movie that we're pitching right now? I feel like while it probably never happens, and even if it did happen, it probably goes wrong for some reason. I think if you take the focus off the versus part, and yeah, maybe you have like a couple of scuffles, but like by and large, it's about them finding a way to work together to save their two worlds. I think that could be fire.
Yeah, you definitely have to. You definitely have to market the fighting. There's no way around that.
Yeah, that's the toys part of it, you know.
Yep.
And I want to see it. I want to see if Scarlet Witch can take down Superman.
What if Batman gets his own Iron Man suit that he makes?
Nope, I'm out.
Nope. Okay. All right.
I'm out.
All right. You found some
Hey,
Stark
what if
tech.
it's that Batman? What if it's the Batman from Kingdom Come, where he's like already old and he's like he needs...
Gordon's mech suit, the bunny.
Okay, I might be back in.
Yeah, what if Gordon is Batman in this crossover?
Yeah, that should have stuck in the comics. That's a hot take I'll keep. Should have left it that way. I love it.
J.K. Simmons is Batman.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
There would be like weird interactions that I'd like to see. Like, I don't know, Hawkeye and Green Arrow shooting arrows at each other and like they just split in between, like dumb shit like that, or Adam and Ant-Man seeing how small each can get and trying to crawl on each other's asses, you know?
They're both.
It's canon.
I think that's a different thing.
Oh, okay.
They're both riding each archer's arrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they're coming at each other.
Or Wanda sees a blur run by and she's like, "Oh, Pietro," and it's like, "No, it's Flash. Oops, your brother's still dead."
Idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think there's so many ways to make this work and so many ways that it could be cool.
Wonder Woman picking up Mjolnir.
That's a
pull that right
Although
out
I
of
don't
the
know
comics.
if she'd be able to hold it. But yeah, that would be awesome.
It's canonical. She has held it.
Yeah.
In this book, the JLA Avengers, she does wield Mjolnir.
She and Superman do, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's perfect. I would love to see that on screen. Wonder Woman holding Mjolnir. They should let her hold that and Captain America's shield.
And me.
Hey, you know what? And me.
And me. But bring Cheetah. That's all. Just bring Cheetah. All right. So that's our pitch for a DC Marvel crossover film. That is our pitch.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
You could do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse, I think, than that. And I'm putting this out there right now. If either company, frankly, wants to come to the table and have a conversation, we're listening. We accept all forms of payment. I prefer a Brinks truck to pull up to my house and drop that money on in. That's what I prefer.
I prefer mine in Logan Paul crypto dink doink.
You can give mine straight to the government. Pay off my student loans. I'll do just about anything.
Fair enough. Listeners, let us know your thoughts on this pitch. Is this a movie that you would want to see? Like our version, sure, but also just in general, the idea of this crossover. Is it something that appeals to you? Are you into that? Not so much. Tell us your reasoning. I think it's very reasonable to not want to see them go there, but I also think it's so much fun, you know. We lose sight as fans of the fact that at the end of the day, the shit's supposed to be fun. So if you want to have fun, come on.
I did have a horror story in my head as we're thinking of big corporations and IP crossing over and stuff.
Trying to end the show, Tyler.
I know, but imagine if in Secret Wars like a portal opens up and it's like Darth Vader because like Disney owns the right to that shit, and I'm like,
all right. Anyway,
don't do that, please.
Yeah. So, if you want to let us know your thoughts about this potential crossover, please do write in. There are plenty of ways to get us. Our link tree includes many of them. Wherever you're listening to this, there's a comment box. We've got social medias as well. Hit us up on there. Whatever you want to do. comicspals@gmail.com. We appreciate all your comments. Twitch.tv/thecomicspals if you want to watch this show live every single Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I had to get used to that while I was away.
Oh, it was an extra hour, right?
Yeah, it's an hour behind Central.
Yep.
So that putting that EST in there matters a lot more. 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays for Pals Pools. Patreon.com/thecomicspals if you want to support the show. Hey, maybe we can write this. Maybe we can write the script, put it up on Patreon. Kale, you want to? Tyler, oh gosh, we're all writers. You guys want to join forces?
I'll do that. Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun.
I'll write the Ant-Man scenes. And the She-Hulk scenes.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
Oh,
Interior shoe. Interior shoe. Adam. Adam sees a green cloud above him as he lives my dream. Ooh, sorry, what?
Oh, man. Yeah, lots of cool stuff happening on our Patreon page. Of course, youtube.com/thecomicspal. Subscribe for free. Like the video, share it with your friends. All that's free to do, and it helps us out a lot more than it costs you. Our most recent book club is Chainsaw Man. And we'll be putting out Batman White Knight really soon. And Curse of the White Knight. And Patreon subscribers, stay tuned for the next vote. We're going to have you guys voting soon on our next book club. Join our Discord server also. Come hang out with us on Discord. Always having a great time over there. A lot of times the conversations from here spin off there. So join us over on Discord. Let's get into the plugs. Kale.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Comics Pals. You can find me at Toto in Tow. That's TOTOINTOW. Boy, have I been away. Find that on Twitter and Instagram. You can find my work at kaleward.com. That's CLEWARD.com, where you can find all of my comics work, and hopefully there's more to come.
Welcome back, Kale.
Ooh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Tyler.
You can find me at the Tyler Olson on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram, I posted a picture with Tommy Wiseau last night.
You went to the thing and he was
there?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I'm exhausted right now, guys. I had to drive someone to the airport directly. I'm running on 2 hours sleep right now, so I feel like Sean.
That's the Sean special.
Yep.
As for me, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram only at Sean Soapbox. I'm jet lagged. I'm tired, but
jet lagged.
Well, okay, fair enough.
My man went 1 hour and he's jet lagged.
All right. I'm not.
That's his entire sleep schedule, though.
I'm not trying to steal your thunder, Kill. I'm just speaking about myself. Okay.
Listen, you're being so brave about it.
But happy to do the show as always. Thank you guys so much for listening. Tyler, you want to answer that before we cut?
Yes, I did meet Tommy Wiseau. It's my fourth time meeting him. I've played catch with him before. He asked me to be on the Broadway play of The Room, but could not remember my name. Yeah, he's a guy.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
we'll have to talk about that more in depth on the next Palin Around.
He's still selling that underwear.
Dude, I almost bought some yesterday, but instead I bought a Blu-ray and had it signed. So the underwear has a pocket for a condom in it.
Okay.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
He practices safe sex.
Okay.
as one should. And with that message,
Oh,
you're the
trust
comic
me.
spouse signing off. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you next week, Mark.